For a very long time, I have had some form of virtual assistant, executive assistant supporting me to deliver results within my businesses. The reality is that when you hit a certain level of workload, it's absolutely imperative that you've got the right support systems around you so that you're focused on the really important aspects of the work and you've got some form of executive assistant to carry some of the more basic levels of activity that have to happen, whether that be emails, diary management, social media, managing, connections, travel, etc. Now, the rise of the virtual assistant is absolutely mind blowing, and I'm super surprised that more executives in their day to day lives are not embracing virtual assistants because, number one, they can be extremely cheap. For a few $100s a month, you can have incredible levels of virtual assistant support, whether that be 10, 20 hours a week additional support to help you get your job done. Even if you are working in the corporate sector, you should be looking at this because you could use support to help, make you more efficient and to gather, research information and so on, and, to really help you deliver results. Obviously, in your own business, it's imperative. You must have some level of executive support unless you want to do everything yourself and run yourself ragged. And, I see a lot of business executives who are, sort of trying to grow their practices and they're operating without that support. If you're a board member and you're starting to build up to serving on a number of boards, at a certain point, you're going to need VA support because, gathering the information between the meetings, making sure you've got your schedule put in place. If you've got 10, 20, 30 meetings a year being scheduled into your diary, you're at a point now where you could have VA support. Now, there's incredible onshore and offshore options where this is concerned. You only need to Google virtual assistant and you'll find a truckload of options. You could trial and error yourself. It's not too difficult to get a number of resources on your books. I personally have used some of the bigger companies that do a lot of the vetting and the screening and the training of the virtual assistants. I have some personal preferences where virtual assistants might come from, but generally speaking, my experience has been incredibly positive. They've been highly educated, highly efficient individuals, human beings that genuinely care about you and can make an incredible difference to your practice, whether it be practice in the private world or in the public world, and really able to streamline your activity so that you can be super efficient and keep the output off the charts. Now, there's a very famous real estate agent up here in Queensland. He is the king of real estate, let's call him. I won't name him specifically because he might not appreciate that, but he is the king of real estate. He handles all the multi-million dollar properties. And of course, at that level, everyone wants to talk to this individual. If you're selling your $20 million, home down on Hedges Avenue, you're going to want to speak to this gentleman. And of course, his time is finite. He can only do so much, and he's trying to scale a very substantial real estate business. And, although he's got other agents who work for him, the general consensus is everyone wants to talk to this individual. And he has described this concept of being able to throw everything over his shoulders, and he's got an incredible team of executives who pick everything up for him. And essentially what he has is 10 VAs. He's got 10 virtual assistants that stand behind him that will catch everything he throws over the back so that he can just focus on the client relationship, going to the client meeting, but then everything after that is then systematized and outsourced to his team to then handle for him. So he can just concentrate on the most important thing that he does, which is being the rainmaker, being the chief sales officer, pulling in the incredible opportunities, but having the systems in place to backfill. And I think that's how every executive, entrepreneur, business owner should be thinking. You need to work out strategies to put the right systems in place behind you. So, my number one rule, if I was still playing the corporate executive game and I'm trying to get bang for my buck and I'm working incredibly long hours, hire a virtual assistant. Is going to transform your life. Once you get the right person and the right systems in place, you're going to absolutely be gobsmacked why you didn't do this earlier.